I do not understand why Russ got so much slander for his career, despite the fact he's an elite defender, an elite playmaker, and his game is fueled off of being competitive. And right, doing little things like this in a matchup against the Suns just shows you Russ's competitive nature and what allows him to continuously be the fuel for the Clippers, because when he got hurt, they immediately dropped off. And now he's back, and he's even taking matchups against KD. Whole game, KD. He may switch some matchups, but he's there whole time. He ain't ducking no smoke. Now, as an off-ball defender, this is one of the most effective ways you could be able to get steals and fool offensive players. Watch what Russell is about to do, right? This is called baiting, right? He's going to hop in and hop right back out. But really notice how he did so, right? The most important concepts when it comes down to this is actually taking this large step into that help area. And then once you get back out after taking this step, you make sure your hands are active so you get the ball while it's still in the lane. And so now Russ steps in, active hands, jumps that, boom. Now he ends up getting this 2 down here in transition early on to start this game, right? Understand Russ, he's an underrated defender, and I'm gonna prove y'all. Just continue to watch. This is elite defense by Russ. Watch. Bradley Beal is going to go down to this nail, and the Suns are about to run a Spain pick and roll, right? Bradley Beal is going to set a back screen on Zubac, and then Beal is going to pop out. But notice what Russ does, right? Notice what Russ is going to do. He's staying attached to Beal so that as Eubanks is making this roll and Beal's about to possibly set that screen or slip out, he's attached so that he could be able to jump that lane once Booker throws that pass. And now he's able to get down in transition and get another dunk to start this game. Russ is notoriously known for being a non-shooter and only has rim gravity and some playmaking ability, right? And so in situations like this, where he's supposed to space the floor out, what's going to end up occurring is that he may end up being the one with the ball in his hands because everybody is overhelping on the roll and PG seeing too, right? And so when Russ ends up getting this catch right here by PG, I'm not going to catch and try to shoot and play into defense's games. I'm going to catch and immediately swing to Terrence Mann because look at Devin Booker, right? Notice how lazy he's about to be. Just because he helped all the way over to that nail, Terrence Mann had a good look from 3 because he swung that over quickly. So if you're a non-shooter, them quick swing passes to teammates that are shooters is something you could utilize. So the way teams guard Russ is that instead of playing him up like this, they're going to go and drop back. But that is only to your detriment as a defense because now Russ is going to begin to tap into a skill y'all don't even really understand he fully has. So when he is reading this action on this left side, PG curling up, Booker falling asleep, he has all the room to throw this pass over the top to Terrence Mann. So if you give him room, he's not going to sit there and shoot. He's going to actually run the offense and make these reads, and now we can throw any pass he wants. A lot of people may hate Russ, but you cannot deny the fact that he's unselfish. So anytime he catches, his first look isn't going to be, how can I score? It's going to be, let me scan the floor and see what do we have. And now Zubac has Bull on him, and he's running the rim. Zubac can seal that easy. Throw that down, he seals him, gets there, gets that too. Simple basketball, simple plays. Look, Book clears out Bull, ISOs KD. So KD could go ISO Russ on this left wing, right? So what's going to end up occurring? Look at Russ. Bring that shit on. Russ ain't dunking no smoke. Look, hold on. Bring it on. He ain't ducking no smoke. Terrence Mann denying over here at the top. Bring it on. He ain't ducking no smoke. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, when it come down to Russ, he really bout this shit for real. And so now KD gets the ball in the middle, and now we in an ISO. You get the ball exactly like I wanted to. And if you had to put your money on it, you probably got KD in the situation. But Russ, he's going to play smart. He's getting underneath KD's hips, and so now KD's going to force himself to get lower on his attack. So he's thinking, I got to get lower than Russ. So what is Russ going to do instead? Because he's already comfortable playing low and being the lower defender. And while KD is thinking about getting low, Russ decides to let him go by him, reach around the backside, I get that turnover, ball out on you, going our way. He ain't ducking no smoke, bro. He ain't ducking no smoke, no switches, no nothing. Bring that shit on, bro. He ain't ducking nothing, bro. Another effective way as to which you could be able to thrive being a non-shooter in shooting situations where they bait you to shoot, right? So what ends up happening, boom, double team, Terrence Mann on the wing, Russ gets it. He has this entire gap between him and Eric Gordon, right? Really look at this gap. Hold on, look at this gap. Look at this gap. Come on, bro. That shit, that's a distance. That's a gap, right? If I ever seen one. But understand this. In situations like Russ is in right now, where a defender is 20 feet away from you, there's two ways you can see this. I play into your game and I shoot this jumper knowing damn well I'm not comfortable taking this, or I could find a way to get straight into my sweet spot, which is right in front of that free throw line, pull up, shot, and I know I can knock that down. You got to understand that if the defense is baiting you to do something, you got to see that opportunity for you to be able to now get into what you're comfortable with, especially when you get played with gaps. This is why Westbrook is an elite point guard, right? So Bones Highland gets this right here. He got this with your Eubanks. Boom, shot, bucket. You're not talking about Russ. Watch what Russ is about to do after this. KD ends up coming down. KD pulls up for this bucket right here in the mid-range. Knock it down. Watch Russ right now. Watch Russ. What is he about to do? As soon as they made that, he looks directly to Bones and tells Bones to go to that left side, right? He tells Bones to go to that left side the next play down because he just hit that three with Eubanks. So now we're going to test if you got a heater. Now Norman Powell comes off this screen. Boom, little dummy ass. He ain't trying to get nothing. Now Bones is going to end up coming off this next one, right? And all we really want to do in this situation is just to give you another opportunity to see if you could really cook, if you're really ready to cook. So he takes his three from behind the line deep. He misses, but even understand this. He's still not going to prioritize my buckets and me scoring, despite the fact I gave you a second opportunity to score after making a bucket. I'm going to get down transition, use my gravity, pull forward defenders, 8 eyes onto me, drop it back to you, and now all those defenders never communicated, and now Bones Highland is able to get another bucket, right? He is really encouraging Bones Highland to be an even better version of himself. And if you think Russ is selfish, you're goofy. The media always says Russ is stat padding, but this is not stat padding. All because he gets a bunch of assists, making reads like this. Watch this right here, right? Eubanks, head is turned away. I try to lean Norman Powell with that pass. Boom, it ends up getting deflected, right? He ends up getting the ball right back, same possession. Now when he decides to drive and attack into the paint, boom, he ends up pulling Eubanks over, D-Book over. He kicks out to Amir Coffey for a corner three. That's a logical pass. That's a purposeful pass. And the possession still isn't done, right? That's not no stat padding assist. He ends up having Grayson Allen on his left side. What does he now end up doing? He attacks right, pulls Eubanks in, drops it off to Zubac. He has gravity when he attacks the rim. So him getting all these assists has nothing to do with him stat padding. He's making the right plays. And people are upset at the fact that he has so much gravity and does make these right plays and gets the numbers. Why? I don't know. I have no clue. If Russ learned how to do this one skill, he would literally be unguardable, right? So he gets a switch with Royce O'Neal. He has this gap, and he's going to do his infamous push cross. And now he ends up going to his right side. And with all the steam that he's built up here, you've got to get a lay. And one thing we know about lays, especially when you look at the best layers when it comes down to finishing at the rim, like Kyrie, he has a soft touch. Russ is unable to get into these drives, and then once he has all this steam from his body, disassociate his touch from his body, so now he gets a shot like that. He ends up just not even being able to finish that at the rim because his touch is just too aggressive because the amount of steam and how much his engine is built up going into that drive. When the defense decides not to stack up on Russ and pull in help like they've done numerous times before, this is how it looks like, right? Grayson Allen gets this switch. You leave him with this little bit of a gap, little bit of room. He's going to eat that up. You're just too small, bro. And you know what celebration he's going to do. You know what celebration he's going to do every single time. So that's what happens when you don't send help. And now when you do send help and he passes the ball, media says, oh, he's a stat batter. Crazy. Late in game, Russ ain't playing with no ego. He's not trying to be the closer. Points out to Terrence Mann, PG, you get your matchup. Help close this game out, right? So boom, he ends up getting Grayson Allen. And so what ends up occurring now is that Russ cuts through. And now what happens, Beal turns, he has to now leave, and that creates a double gap to PG's left side, which is something as to which, when I was in AAU, we ran that shit all the time, that shit was cooking. I ain't gonna lie, it's cook a lot of teams because you have so much room to be able to turn the corner. So now PG can now get middle, and boom, what ends up happening? Foul call, he gets to the line. And by the way, most importantly, they're in the bonus right now. When you actually decide to talk on screens, like Russ is about to do right here, you could allow this player to guard better, because now what happens is that they know a screen is coming to their left side. So what could they do? Anticipate that crossover coming and going back to their right side. Y'all got to really communicate and start talking. And so now what happens? Offensive side, we got that stop. Russ now, work my way to this right. right? Let me give this to PG in the middle of the floor. And when I give it up to PG, I'm not just going to give it up and just cut straight through blindly. I give it up, understand the fact that he has gravity. And now I continue to sit back, don't cut too fast. I get that catch right there. Boom, give us that 2. Thought you had a 30, 40-point comeback brewing? Nah, you don't. That's Russ's 16, 15, and 15 game without Kawhi and James Harden against a healthy Suns team without Nurkic. He's still effective, by the way, and he don't stat pad. So